I'd like to appreciate to all of you for participating and sharing your opinions at this program. Thank you very much. I definitely would like to appreciate Lelinji for organizing this wonderful program, because this program is timely program, and this is a needed program to give a message to all over South Asia and around the globe. I would also like to appreciate Sapalji, Govindaji, and Lelinji, because these three people individually took initiative to give their memorandum to Indian Embassy, to Pakistani Embassy, UN, and SAARC Secretariat. So this is an initiative taken by these three brave, bold people, though they didn't get company of many friends and people. Nevertheless, it was a beginning, and it was a good beginning. We all definitely condemn the Pahalgam incident. No doubt it is a terrorist incident. Whoever has committed the terrorist incident, it is condemnable, it is horrific, and it is inhuman. Today, this distinguished gathering and scholars, human rights leaders, all we have the same conclusion that the Pahalgam incident needs to have a thorough, independent, and a credible investigation. Both India and Pakistan should not participate in blaming game to each other. By blaming each other and condemning each other, as Subodai beautifully mentioned, all over the globe, terrorism has not been controlled or ended through the gun. Certain Qazads have promoted terrorism, and unless we resolve those Qazads, terrorism exists and it causes a lot of problems. The incident is definitely inhuman, but based on the incident, India is taking part in aggression. Early this morning, India used missile to devastate certain areas of Pakistan. Some children and innocent people have been killed. And those areas identified by India as the 9 sports, there's a huge doubt that whether those 9 sports are terrorist sports or not. The identification is unilateral identification by India. And the Pakistani government is claiming that innocent people have been killed by the attack and by the missile. Why this incident is taking place, there are a lot of explanations and speculations. I don't want to go to those explanations and speculations, but there are a couple of facts. One of the facts is that when Pakistan and India entered into a treaty in 1960, the Indus River Treaty. The Indus River Treaty bring those two countries into sharing of water in those countries for irrigation, for industrial use, for drinking water, and for all varieties of the use of water. In the Indus River Treaty, there are 6 rivers. In the eastern side, in the Indian side, there are 3 rivers. In the western side or the Pakistani side, there are 3 rivers. So Pakistan was permitted to use those 3 rivers, and India was permitted to use those 3 rivers. And the treaty was negotiated by World Bank, and it was working somehow well. Both countries, they had some grudges, especially India had some grudges over the treaty. And since 2017, India had stopped to participate in the Indus River Commission. The sole idea behind stopping to participate in the Indus River Commission was India wanted to have a huge hydropower in the Kashmir area. And for that hydropower, the water resources available in the eastern part was not sufficient, and it wanted to use the water resources shared by the Pakistani side. That was one of the bone of the contention. And second was that if we look at the global population, now India is the highest populated country in the world, and it occupies 17% of the global population. Despite the fact, huge population, it has resources of only 4% of water resources to supply to those 17% people. So India is highly water scarcity country. It cannot supply water to its 17% globally occupied 17% people, or 4.7 billion Indian citizens, Indian people. So India was looking at some issues where it could divert the water of the Indus treaty system for the benefit of India. So it called to negotiate the treaty and unilaterally proposed for the negotiation and amendment of the treaty. Pakistani government was ready for the negotiation, but India stopped for negotiating the treaty. That's why that caused the real problem is there. And now the Indian government, especially Modi ji, clearly mentioned that India cannot share water in exchange of blood. So it was a very serious statement made by Indian leader, Prime Minister Modi. Based on that, they stopped to implement the treaty and they suspended Indus Treaty. And they claim that they will divert the water of Indus River system to India and not allow the water system to go to Pakistani region. So they are trying to stop the flow of the water system to Pakistan, and it has serious implications. Rokaji was asking me what are the implications. Now I want to talk with implication to India, Pakistan, and Nepal in a few minutes. To Pakistan, Pakistan international export is cotton, one of the important international product export item is cotton. The cotton occupies 6% of the GDP of Pakistan. So when the water flow is stopped, the cotton export will be damaged. So 6% GDP of the Pakistani will be heavily impacted. So it will have international impact as well as the livelihood of the farmers in Pakistan. That's one. Second is that Indus River irrigation system is one of the best irrigation river system in the world. And through the Indus River system, 80% of Pakistani agriculture farmland is irrigated by this Indus River. So when the 80% of the farming community and the agricultural land will be affected by the stopping of the flow of the river, the huge agricultural impact will have in Pakistan, and the negative impact will cause serious famine, death, poverty, especially to the poor people and the farmers in Pakistan. So in such an issue, to stop the flow of Indus River, perhaps it amounts to not only stopping water, but water terrorism, inhuman act on Pakistani innocent people. There is a long distrust, animosity, and couple of wars between India and Pakistan. But this is at the level of government. This is not between the Pakistani people and Indian people. Both people are innocent. But this time, India waged war against Pakistan from this morning, early morning. And this goes against the Article 51 of UN Charter, a number of decisions and a resolution of the United Nations, and it violates international law. So the implication to India is that India will be counted, or India will be blamed for violating international law. That's serious implication to India. We, as friendly nation of India and Pakistan, we hope and we urge both of them, there is no solution by war. War is not a substitute for peace. Peace can be garnered only by harmony, friendship, negotiation, and a dialogue. In this context, Nepal can play a very important role. But the Nepali government has not even issued a very clear decision or statement regarding this very pertinent issue. So first of all, I would like to request the Nepali government to make clear the position of Nepali government and express its willingness to be a negotiator, a peace negotiator, to end the conflict between Pakistan and India. Similarly, I would like to request youth like Lelinji or other youth in Nepal to have a South Asian networking among youths and build pressure to both India and Pakistan to stop this war immediately and come down to the peace negotiation. This can be done. Well, at the moment, there are very few people, even on the street. Only Lelinji and his friend, 2 people were having the banner and demonstrating before the UN. But I think this is a huge impact. This has created huge impact. So you have the possibility to take leadership for peace and bring those 2 warring countries in negotiation and establish peace in those countries. What will be the implication to Nepal? There will be some severe implication to Nepal. Already we have seen in a couple of places some demonstration, especially agitating ethnic and religious violence and blaming some community, particular community in Nepal, and that will create ethnic and religious violence in Nepal. So this program should give a message, a clear message that the Pahalgam incident should not be extended or expanded to create violence and ethnic conflict in Nepal. We all communities in Nepal have harmony, brotherhood, and we believe in each other, we cooperate with each other, and we stand out for peace. We don't believe in violence. That message should be given clearly. Otherwise, the supply of oil will be stopped or reduced. The consumable goods will be reduced, the export or import of the consumable goods. The impact will be to the poor people. There will be huge impact to the life of the poor people. So there are a lot of implications to the market of Nepali economy. In this context, different media and analysts have analysis that even in this forum, some of the security personnel clearly mentioned that this war is not going to be limited to limited places, but all type of war. It is going to be a war between Pakistan and India for a long time with a huge scale. And that huge scale war will impact life of these South Asian people as well as Nepali people. The implications can be discussed later, but now we have to talk about our role. So what I would like to request to Subodhai or some of the human rights leaders, let's bring the Nepali civil society unified and have a unified voice of Nepali civil society. That what our civil society leaders can do. Our youth can raise voice for peace and start some sort of networking in this region that will create some implication. At the same time, we all should raise our voice to ask the government to take initiative for peace and take leadership in this context. Due to time constraint, I would like to thank to all of you and for this opportunity to Lelinji. And I would like to request any other people to organize this type of programs. And if possible, let us have a collective memorandum so that civil society can give that memorandum to Indian embassy and Pakistani embassy to stop all type of terrorism, or including water terrorism. Thank you very much.
Dr. Surendra Bhandari, sir.